Over a third of U.S. workers now hold multiple jobs just to keep going, according to a recent survey by ZipRecruiter. Tonight, our Meg Oliver shows us how many school teachers are working side hustles as we continue our series, Affordability in America.
On the ground was a little bag of gold.
From the time she was a child, Christine Regal knew she wanted to be a teacher.
I just love working with kids. I love the kids. I mean, I've been teaching for 26 years, and I still remain in contact with a lot.
But that devotion to her craft in Plainfield, New Jersey, requires quite a few side hustles to pay the bills.
Well, here I do breakfast duty and lunch duty. I tutor after school, and then I work at Cheesecake Factory.
One in 5 K through 12 teachers report struggling financially, with 71% of U.S. public school teachers working at least one additional job.
Where are you getting hit the hardest?
Oh, gosh, I'm getting hit everywhere. Like just this past weekend, it cost me $70 to put gas in my car. 70. Last night I went grocery shopping, 2 bags of groceries, $160. That's where I'm getting hit. Repeat after me. Swipe.
When school lets out for the summer, Regal will continue waitressing for extra cash. She also has to budget for school supplies. She usually spends up to $1,500 of her own money to supplement her classroom.
Are you budgeting differently so you're able to afford that next year?
Luckily, I have a co-teacher where we split everything, but I know she's feeling a hit herself, and we've already had conversations like we're going to have to probably take it easy, especially with her because she just has a new baby.
So now what does your retirement look like?
I'm going to just keep hustling and just keep putting money away, and then pray that when I hit 60 that things will be a lot different.
For now, the single 54-year-old will have to keep hustling for at least 6 more years. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Plainfield, New Jersey.
Shalom. Kol halalim la Yahweh b'Hashem Yahavashai b'Hashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the prophets of the body, and shalom to the 144,001 third. May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households as we approach the end. Apologies about the erratic video. All right. You know what's going on with these data centers, sucking up all the electricity and water, so we can see the difference in surge of energy and power. Sometimes that could be affecting the bandwidth. I don't know. All right, could be that. Or we also know through the spirit, Satan is the prince and power of the air, so he's going to do his thing to be a roadblock. But I hope you got the message with regards to the initial video that was played. Okay, about a lot of teachers that are supplementing their income, right? Here in the UK, and I'm sure in the States also. All right. Being a teacher was, excuse me, I apologize about clearing my throat there. I've got water next to me. So being a teacher, right? I mean, at some point, especially say 30 years ago, even 20, let's just say, 25 years ago. Let's go back to let's say late 90s, early 2000s. Becoming a teacher was a great job. It had great benefits. You had a decent salary package for someone who's like in their mid to late 20s or maybe even early 30s, right? It was a stable role. It's something that you can grow into, climb up the ranks slowly but surely. Also, the great additional part is the holidays, right? I don't know how it works, but I'm sure they've got their work to do during the holiday season. but it's not that they've got to be doing their 40 hours per week. They're probably just got to be doing lesson preps and stuff like that during the 3 month period while they're off. But a lot of the holidays, these people actually get to rest. So being a teacher at some point was a really great job. Now, this woman said that she's been teaching for 26 years. And if you listen to it, 26 years teaching, right? She's 54 years old and she's still hustling. And she thinks in 6 years' time, she's going to have enough money to retire on. And by the way, she's single. All right? She's single. And so therefore, she's got a lot going against her as well. All right? So we can see, that the money or the pound, the euro, whatever currency you want to use is not stretching far as it used to because the value is getting low, right? I always use this common example. Like I was, sometimes now and again, as we do, you speak to your mother just to find out, Mum, how was it in the 70s? What kind of how much did you spend for during the week, right? For like bread, milk, and your basic requirements as to eat and drink. And she had said £1. £1. All right. Fast forward to the 90s. I remember for £1, when you're like 11, 12, 13 years old, there's nothing to be proud of. I was a stupid child and, I was smoking cigarettes as you do, you sneak in cigarettes. And I remember buying a pack of cigarettes, right? A box of 10 in those days. They don't do 10 cigarettes no more. Not that I smoke. I haven't smoked almost 7 to 8 years now, maybe longer. I don't touch that shit no more. But I'm just giving examples of how the value of money's gone low, right? It was like 90 pence, 1990, 91, a box of cigarettes, right? You could do a lot with £1 in the 80s. I remember as a child running around. Your dad gives you £1, you go to the park, play soccer with your friends, muck around, horseplay and all that, wrestle, and then go to the store. You get yourself that generic soda for about a liter. You go buy yourself like a Kit Kat and the one with the 4 sticks. You can buy yourself a packet of crisps, what you brothers call in the States chips. Like a potato chips. And you still had change left over to buy 1 penny or one penny candy, like gum, pear drops, cherry drops, So it went far. Now you can't do nothing with £1 these days. £1, you can just about buy a can of Coke. Not that I drink Coca-Cola, or a can of soda, hypothetically speaking, or a can of Yoo-hoo. You can't do nothing anymore. It's like twice the price. So the value of money is not so it has decreased, and salaries have not increased. Okay. Hence the reason why a great job like being a teacher, right? Because there's a lot of prep and work outside those hours as well with lessons and exams, is not being rewarded amply. So therefore, women like her, who have probably failed in life, she's 54 years old, and you can tell at some point, 30 years, 54, and you can tell at some point, 25, maybe 25 plus years, 25 years ago, she was younger and slimmer. So at some point, she could have snapped up a husband for herself, right? Okay. Some Edomite would have liked her, right? But, she's alone. I don't know the backstory, but I'm just saying 54 years old and alone. All right. A cheesecake factory. Right. Actually, let me Google. Was it a cheesecake factory that closed down a bunch of restaurants? Or was it some other? I mean, they're closing down left and right. And I'm thinking maybe Cheesecake Factory was part of it too. Salaki for this. We're going to read the scriptures in a second. Just bear with me, please. Has Cheesecake Factory shut down numerous locations in America? Okay. Okay, so it hasn't shut down numerous locations on a massive company-wide scale, while they occasionally close underperforming units. They generally open more new restaurants than they close. Well, that AI is going to say that shit. The same way they're going to say, "Oh, the economy is doing well," obviously lying, Okay, and obviously, if they're saying that a cheesecake factory closed underperforming stores and underperforming locations, people don't have the disposable income to go out and eat. People are complaining about how much money they spend. You saw what she said. She spends around about $70-$80 a week. She lives on her own, by the way. She's a single. There's no children mentioned. Yeah, remember, there are no children mentioned, right? As we know of, right? And no husband. She's on her own, 54. Okay. She's a teacher and she's been teaching 26 years. So she's got some dough put away, right? Okay. And yet she is still doing side hustles. She's doing 2 or 3 other jobs within the school itself. So I'm sure she's making maybe, I don't know, another $1,000 a month. I don't know. I'm just speculating, right? Then the Cheesecake Factory as well, right? And obviously, with people struggling everywhere, Cheesecake Factory locations are going to close as well because people aren't going to go over there. And the people that are there, the waiting staff, the cooks, the chefs, and all that, they're going to need to be paid. And if no one's coming in to utilize those locations, they're going to close too. So it's a chain reaction. It's a chain reaction. Okay, all right. So therefore, the money's not stretching as far. All right. And a lot of you women and she doesn't have any value in her. I don't know. Maybe she can cook and clean. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But I'm just saying, no man's going to really want to take her on. She's old. She's dry, she's old and dry. You know what I'm saying? Men are going to look on the exterior as well, aren't they? They're going to say, okay, what are you going to do for me? You can cook and clean, but, I need some action, a couple of times a week, you know? She's old, frail, old and, no man's going to really desire that. Okay, so she's got a lot going against her. When all hell breaks loose, okay, you women are going to suffer, man. Okay, and people in general are going to suffer. People are going to snap. And in 6 years' time, I mean, even Elon Musk, he told you that. There's no point preparing for the future. Didn't he say something like that in those words? Because cash is not going to no longer be king. He didn't say in these words, but he's alluding to that, or he's just saying he's dancing around it the way AI dances around certain answers. Elon Musk's, Elon Musk is the same way. All right, let's go to Haggai 1 and 6. All right, Haggai 1 and 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Okay, so wherever she's earning, right? She's by herself, right? So she's spending anything from $70 to $100 a week on fuel. Then on top of that, $160 a week just on food. And she's by herself. Imagine if she was like, she had 2 more mouths to feed, right? Add another $200 to that in terms of food, all right? And if she's got a son who's looking for work, going for job interviews and stuff, he's going to need to borrow her car now and again. Let's just say that, hypothetically speaking, if she had a son, she's 54 years old, so she had a son maybe who's like I don't know, 20, 21. He might be looking for work. So he's going to need fuel for that. So he's going to be borrowing money off her. So it's going to be a lot of burden for people. And she is just like a drop in the ocean of people that are suffering. How much more with people that have more responsibilities? You got actual people out there that are functioning, working people or so-called productive people that live in their cars because they cannot afford the humongous rent, which is which are charged in America, shit, around the world. But Ground Zero Babylon, as Italian Jakes would say, forget about it, right? The prices are astronomical. Okay, astronomical. I mean, for crying out loud, in a basic area, $3,000 for like a room, and you're by yourself, It's like that over here as well. It's crazy. All right. Let's go to some more scriptures. Yeah, this is going to be a big detriment against women. I mean, this is a big thing against women, man. A lot of you women, have made the wrong choices in life by listening to other women that were bitter when you should have had some wisdom, knowing that, okay, the friend that I'm taking advice from doesn't have a man, so why would I get advice from her? She doesn't have a man, doesn't have children, she doesn't have to keep a man. Your friend that you got advice from, she might be attractive or might not be attractive, and if she's unattractive and doesn't have a man, why would you take advice from her, right? And even if she's super attractive and you're taking advice from your friend, and she says, yeah, don't be a pick me, or don't listen to him, make sure it's 50-50 and all that shit. That's why a lot of you women are single, man, because of all this independent woman bullshit. All right, there's nothing wrong with a woman playing her role, man. All right, okay, in this world we're in house, okay, a man and a woman have to work side by side, right? But what the man can do, as well as the outside work, is do all the heavy lifting in the house, all the painting, the decorating, the repairing, the plumbing, all these kinds of things, right? And the woman, what can she do? She can give the man release from his tensions, in the bedroom action, and obviously the woman has requirements. So if you also cook for your man and feed him right, he's got the energy to take care of your needs. Also, he could scratch each other's itch, right? You got that. And also, you cook and clean. You keep the house nice, so when he comes home, the house is nice and clean, smelling fresh. The incense is lit. All he's got to do is shower up, and you come to, and you give him a martini, or a beer, a cold beer, while he sits on his recliner, with his feet up, trying to, meditate what he's done for the day. Jake needs these kind of, release. If you just play your position, a woman would have the support of a man. All right. Okay, because a man naturally has survival skills. Now you women are gonna be, you women, listen, everyone's gonna suffer that up. The heathen in America, around the world, are gonna suffer. But in America, they're gonna die. There's no escape. Even outside of America, the heathen, they're either gonna die, or they're gonna go into slavery, or they're gonna die and they're gonna be born into slavery. There is no sunshine for you, sunshine and happiness for you heathens. All right. So the 6-year goal that she has of retiring, you can forget about that, because 6 years time, if you're an Edomite, you're going to be in chains, right? Because we'll be in the kingdom, Lord willing. All right, Lord willing, way before that. All right, because time is going fast for the elect's sake. All right. But look at that. By herself, she's struggling, and how much more with other families. So it's going to get bad out here. All right. And the food that we're eating is not even real anyway. Okay. So it's the elect with the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemeshai, and it's the mercy of the Lord that we're not consumed, man. Loosely paraphrasing scripture there. Ezekiel 4:13. And the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Okay, we eat defiled bread. For example, like these candy bars that are made in these factories. In those factories are other things are made in those factories as well. And sometimes there's rats and mice. Even if you clean the location, sometimes rats and mice show up. And sometimes these droppings or mice droppings end up in the food. And some factories even mention the fact that this could happen. And it's a common theme, and I mean not common theme, it's common knowledge that these things happen, but people still consume. All right. E. coli. And where does E. coli come from, the disease? It's related to fecal matter. All right. And it's in a lot of these restaurants that you Jakes like to go and eat at, especially Moab and Ammon. I haven't heard about Elam, but Elam more than likely as well too. All right. And Ham and all that. You like to go to their dirty ass restaurants. But you don't want to patronize an Israelite, that's trying to just, make sandwiches and turkey bacon sandwiches with lettuce and tomato. You don't want that, You don't want no melted cheese sandwiches, man. Lawful sandwiches. You want some, chicken fried rice for $5. They give you like damn near half a kilo of that shit. And you think there's chunks of, morsels of chicken in there. You're flipping eating fried duck or rat or some shit, And the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai said, even thus the children of Israel eat their bread, Salakia. And the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, where I will drive them. We're eating defiled bread. The heathen are eating defiled bread. The only people that are not eating defiled bread are the elites on this side, the trillionaires, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. They're the only people. They probably got specific restaurants that are designated specifically for their kind. Those restaurants where there's like 6 months waiting list, and every time you call, it's always blocked. You can't get in. That's because it's done by design. It's only for them, the elites, you know, where they get the grass-fed beef. Everything is real fruit and veg, you know. And then on top of that, you know, along with eating defiled bread, now we're coming to the point where people are going to watch how much they eat. All right. And people are already skipping meals over here. And I'm sure she's skipping meals too. All right. And she's by herself. They made it clear. Single, 54, 26 years of work, and she has 2-3 other jobs. So how much more people out there? People are going to snap soon. People are going to rush people's houses. All these good mornings, goodbyes, good afternoon, Mr. Smith, and, you know, hello, Miss Jane, you know. Or hello, Renee. How you doing? What are you up to today? All that shit's out the window. And if it's still here sporadically, you know, you can have conversations like that here and there. But for the most part, you Jakes that are old enough remember the world how it was 30 years ago than how it is now. Right? People are going to be looking at you now. People are going to be watching people's homes. They're women. Men are frustrated. Men are asking women out, and women are saying no to them. There's a lot of men out there that are like 500 pounds, never had a woman. There's a lot of men out there that are, you know, the Lord has put, you know, has blessed them with features that are appealing to females. So a lot of these men, what are they doing? They're getting jealous. They're getting envious. They're getting on that great mindset. So what do you think is going to happen, man? No food, no water, no money, no honey, no experiences for a lot of these men. Okay? Bitter people. A lot of these Edomites and heathens know the truth as well, because they've been watching the prophets, especially during the lockdown. And after the lockdown, you know, people are a little bit more aware because people had more time to view online. They were inside the home. They weren't saying, we outside, we outside. They were inside. So you know what time it is. And you know it's the start of your ending, Esau, Edom. Okay? You know, we're eating our bread defiled. Ezekiel 4. I should have gone above as well, one verse. I should have gone to 12. Oh, yeah. Let me read Ezekiel. Actually, you know what? There's a lot of meat here, man. The hell, I should have just... So let's go Ezekiel 4 and 10. And thy meat which thou shalt eat, and thy meat which thou shalt eat, shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day, from time to time shalt thou eat it. Well, you're going to eat your bread and meat, you know, by measure. Thou shalt drink also water by measure. Are they not making, haven't they made water is it a commodity? Is that what you call it? Like gold and silver on the, what do you call them? That thing on Wall Street and on London and on the stock exchange, right? And I believe they made water. I mean, they're going to make air a commodity, are they not? Let me just check online, actually. So lucky, I'm in mid scripture. I just want to make sure that is water and air a commodity. 1 second. Is water and air a commodity on the stock exchange in 2026? Yep. Here we go. In 2026, this is Google AI. In 2026, water is legally traded as a commodity on future markets, while air is not directly traded on stock exchanges. Okay? Now, it's not traded yet. Now, they show you in their movies in Revelation of the Method. What's Total Recall? Remember Total Recall? When they were in this like kind of Elysium, maybe. So it's sort of like a Project Hood, the lower level, the lower underclass of the world, living in an environment which was controlled by the elites in total recall, or people that had power, and they could turn off the air and put on the air. They had people under subjection. That's what they're trying to do. All right. And water is a commodity. Now it's on the stock exchange. That's, it's going to come to the point where water is going to be charged. Those 2 showers a day are going to be out the window. Those long hot baths are going to be out the window. You might just have a half a liter a day to wash your ass. There's going to be a lot of smelly people around, man. There's going to be the big difference between the haves and have-nots. It's going to get bad out here, man. Let's go to the scriptures now. Verse 11. Ezekiel 4:11. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the 6th part of an hin. From time to time shalt thou drink. Okay. Verse 12. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. Okay. Bread with poop in it. That's already happening now in certain cases. I mean, for crying out loud, we don't know what we're eating with bread, and they make all these movies, these comedy type movies. They tell you what the secret sauce is to something, or what the secret is to the flavor of something. Okay, and I also believe there's also a new drink called is there a new drink made by an athlete called Big Nut? You are likely, it's called Good Nut. Okay, you are likely thinking of Good Nut, a premium organic coconut water line recently launched by NFL legend Tom Brady. Okay, they say it's got coconut water in it. All right, we've seen what these damn heathens, these Amalekites, do with McDonald's, so-called MacD's or Mickey D's. Let's just say that. All right, the dead flesh of the dead bodies of children and all that kind of thing. All right, so we don't know what the hell we eat, what they're putting, how they're making these breads, these cakes. All right, in this time, we're talking about this time. All right, and obviously there's nothing new under the sun. All right, this happened in the ancient times. It's mentioned in the book of Ezekiel, and it's happening now as well. All right, Lord willing, I'm saying this all correctly. Okay, and okay, we're eating our bread defiled, as mentioned. Okay, let's just go to this part here. Verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem. Okay, the inconvenience of convenience stores closing. They're shutting too. Okay, remember, no disposable income. People are going to cut corners. People are going to cut the fat. They're not going to go to restaurants to eat and drink. They're going to say, you know what? I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to buy the cheapest meat. I'm going to buy the cheapest bread, the generic brands, and I'm going to cook food at home so we can save a few quid or a few bucks. All right? Only the people with dough are going to still go out and about. So obviously, the patronization or people going to these locations is going to decrease, and people are going to get let go, and restaurants and stores are going to shut. It's a chain reaction, okay? All right? So people can't be, gluttonous anymore. That time is coming to an end. We've already seen it with these so-called benefits that some people get. A lot of these Keishas and these Edomite Beckys get, right? Okay, their fat asses, what they get. No more candies and ding-dongs and donuts with powder and all that. You only can buy lettuce and tomatoes now. Okay, verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. They're astonished. All right, you got a lot of these devils saying, that their wife goes shopping every week, right? And their wife goes shopping every week, and she does shopping twice a week, spends approximately $300-400 a week, and all she brings home is like 2 bags. And when he comes home, the man. Well, basically, let me start again. The man said that his wife goes shopping twice a week or 3 times a week. She spends $150 at a time. And when he comes home from work, He said there's nothing to eat in the house. So people are already eating their bread and water, but already measuring things up. Okay. If they've got a fish stick left over, 2 fish sticks, and they're thinking, okay, you know what, let me eat that. I'm really hungry. You say, you know what, I'll save that for tomorrow. I'll make a sandwich out of it or something and take it to work. People are doing that now. Okay. The American dream is over. All right. The so-called Western world dream is over. All right. Salakia for talking so much. I guess I just got more of that talking spirit on me this morning. This Salakia, I hate saying the word morning. I got more of a chatty spirit on me this afternoon. Salakia, this afternoon. Just realize it's so we're approaching the end, and this Revelation 12 verse 12 lets you know that the devil knoweth that he hath but a short time. So what do you think they're going to do? Okay, they're putting everybody into corners, putting the roadblocks in front of them. And sometimes when people are put into a corner, what do? They scratch and struggle and punch and kick to try to stay alive, to try and stay afloat. You try and drown someone while they're fully conscious, someone that's strong and healthy, right? Don't you think they're going to struggle? So therefore, the government or the powers that be are trying to drown people. So they're going to struggle. So there's going to be a lot going on out here, all right? As Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. All right, so the Lord is plucking up this kingdom. Okay, plucking up this kingdom. All right, and it's gonna. I'm just gonna quote the scripture because we're approaching half an hour. Is it 2 Ezra 14? Is it 14:15? And people are gonna snap. All right. Obviously, she's got a lot of years she's put in, so therefore she's probably got a couple $100,000 saved up. She's probably made investments. She didn't say she was struggling, but she probably doesn't want to utilize the money she has saved. But she's probably got a few quid. All right, but a lot of people out there don't have the extensive service that she's put into her job. All right. All right. 2 Ezra 15, wasn't it? I'm going to hurry up. 2 Ezra 15, I believe it is. Yep. And it's going to get to that point. Let me read 2 Ezra 15, verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay, let me read 16 as well. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17. All right, when society falls, or is on that level of falling, right, when all hell breaks loose, what's going to happen after a lot of carnage has been done for several days? Martial law troops will move in. They'll probably let everybody have fun in the playground, all right, deleting each other until a significant number has been deleted because they want to delete, because they want people to be deleted. Okay, so they can subdue or control people more. Because remember, the Georgia Guidestones, they want the world at 500 million, right? I believe. So therefore, they'll allow that. And once people crash out and or hell breaks loose, Jeremiah 30 verse 7, Jacob's trouble, race wars, and all that. All right, there'll be martial law. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right. You see, everything has an action. Okay. We're just seeing the demise of this world. And the Lord did say, all right, that there's an expiration date to this rulership. And we are we are quickly approaching the expiration date of this kingdom, man. So it's a good thing. All praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yashai, Bashem Rakakadash. Even people with so-called good jobs are struggling, man. All right. Okay. Anyway. All praise to Yahweh Bashem Yashai, Bashem Rakakadash, Mawatha Bad Mabal, Kwame Ashrala, Shalom, and you women are in big trouble. And for people with larger families are in bigger trouble. But the only people that are safe, okay, and they're going to get out in one piece are the elect, and the elect Israelites of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and also those elect members that are scattered to the four corners of the earth that may not come under those specific titles of black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, as we are scattered to the four corners of the earth, Deuteronomy 20 verse 64. And the second Exodus, Isaiah 11 and 12, lets you know where the countries that we are scattered at. All right? And America is not our first captivity. So hence the reason we are everywhere. All right? But, that time is coming. The time is coming soon. We're going home. All right? So things are only going to get worse before they get better. But the elect, you don't need to worry, man. We have Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right? Anyway, shalom to the elect.